Butler. There is Andy Thrush and Darien T9 Ford, but it's the man on the outside, the Metro Cosworth of Bill Richards, champion in '89, champion last year. Can he do it again this year? But the guy who gets away is Andy Thrush. We ride with Cliff Butler in the Toyota Starlet. Correction, sorry, the Peugeot 205. He chases this ex-rally car, which Andy Thrush tells me is going to be taking to stage rallying next year. A fine rally car in the hands of people like Jeff Kitney. He's brought this car into circuit racing this year here at Lydden. Next year, of course, no circuit racing will take place here at Lydden, so Andy Thrush is going to take the Darien T9 Ford off stage rallying and in decent tarmac events as well. But Cliff Butler in the Inter Saloon Peugeot 205, a former Starlet driver. In fact, the Starlet he used to drive this afternoon, driven by his daughter Julie in the Inter Saloon event. But he chases Andy Thrush down the descent of Hairy Hill, this 1 mile international circuit here, been the home of rallycross for 20-odd years, and the 1 mile club circuit here used to good effect by all these cars you see here this afternoon. Notice the Rover engine Escort going past, the Mark 1 Escort of Mick Tester, sponsored today by Carlo, but Cliff Butler almost gets it wrong coming off Chestnut Drift. That allows Andy Thrush to escape and go down the long drag down into the Devil's Elbow. Indeed, the Metro Cosworth of Bill Richards alongside him on the outside approach into the Devil's Elbow, and he can't quite get past on the outside line, so Cliff Butler maintains that second place. Bill Richards trying desperately to get past the very, very powerful and very lightweight Peugeot 205 of Cliff Butler, number 77, all the way around the outside. Well, he does try, does Bill, but he loses 2 places coming around the hairpin. So that means that Peter White, 22, the other Inter Saloon driver in this category, up into 3rd place now. Bill Richards now in 4th, but escaping away all the time. This immaculate Darien T9 Ford of Andy Thrush, the likeable young man from down the south here, who came along to Lydden with this car and really put things hammers and pigeons with all the bigger cars in this particular category. In the saloons, we'll say later on this afternoon, we've got 2 of those cars in here. There is the Carlo-backed Escort Rover of Mick Tester. The car very much sprung from a former Formula 5000 car. The technology employed basically just looks like an Escort from the outside. Bill Richards still desperately trying to get past Peter White. An inside approach for him into the North Bend hairpin. Can't quite do it. The rather superb technology employed in the Inner Saloon cars for oval circuit racing suits them very, very well, particularly on the right-handers. As Mick Tester tries an inside approach into paddock turn and gets past Graham Smith in the Stiletto, he moves up the place into 4th place. Indeed, Bill Richards actually, in fact, got 3 cars running in this particular category. The cars of Bill Richards himself, obviously, Mark Sayer. Mad Eric Hackey is out there in 41, the Little Mini, and indeed the Mini of Mary Grinham. But Peter White and the Metro Cosworth of Bill Richards having a tooth and nail battle there in 3rd and 4th places. It's still Cliff Butler in 2nd, but it's still Andy Thrush in the Darien T9 Ford as Bill Richards tries an outside line again into the North Bend hairpin, but can't quite keep up the pace of the Peter White Starlet. But can he get it on the way down the descent of Hairy Hill, coming into paddock turn, the right-hander, the inside line advantage there for Peter White in the rear-wheel drive Starlet, outpaces the front-wheel drive, very rapid and very lightweight Metro Cosworth of Bill Richards. There is Andy Thrush, still on his way out on his own. The car obviously registered for the road, in fact, this car. That is why it's taking it rallying next year. The battle for 2nd and 3rd places still between Bill Richards and 22 Peter White, still there in 2nd place. Into the Devil's Elbow, up the ascent of Hairy Hill, this unique motor racing circuit here, the incline of Hairy Hill, known throughout. If you get the elbow wrong about it, you lose 3 or 4 places, but not for Bill Richards, because he goes past Peter White to move in to that 3rd place behind Cliff Butler in the Peugeot. But still Andy Thrush escaping all the time in the Darien T9 Ford. And a fine win there for Andy Thrush. 2nd place there goes to Cliff Butler, and a good 3rd place there for Bill Richards. Our first race of the afternoon, the Special GTs. This is Division 1 for the Lydden Saloon Car Series. And somebody gets it a little bit wrong. Oh my goodness, how did he miss him? Oh my goodness me. Simon Ballson gets it very, very wrong coming down the last bend and almost collects one of our Toyota Starlets going past us here, but luckily no contact. We now go into the Special GTs again. This is Division 1 in the Saloon Car Series. There we see the Metro Cosworth of Bill Richards again, but look at the little midget of John Harvick there. As we go on board again with Cliff Butler in the Peugeot 205, but this time the running order very, very different. As we see, Graham Smith and car number 4 are in lead, being chased there by Andy Thrush in the Darien T9 Ford. Remember, he won his first qualifier this afternoon. 93, gets it very, very wrong, coming into the Devil's Elbow. We ride again with Cliff Butler, who's challenging John Harvick in the newly re-engined MG Midget, coming down into paddock turn. Cliff Butler through now past John Harvick, but oh, look at in front of him. He's got Bill Richards, he's got Andy Thrush, and he's got Graham Smith in the very, very rapid Stumming Stiletto. So Cliff Butler now lying in 4th place. In front of him, well, the man who had a battle all the way around this circuit in our first qualifier for this category earlier on this afternoon with 2nd place man Peter White. Now looks, there's Peter White 22. In fact, as we go around 184, that's Paul McMillan in the 2nd of our Peugeot 205s here, as a very, very wide Cliff Butler comes into the Devil's Elbow. Then around the North Bend hairpin, a wide line there by Andy Thrush, means a challenge coming on now, I feel, for Cliff Butler to come down the descent of Harry Hill, and all the while the two erstwhile lightweight cars of the number 4 cast, the Stiletto, while Graham Smith and Bill Richards 26 in the unique Cosworth engine Metro, still being chased there by Andy Thrush in the Darien T9, and the first of our saloons in this category, Cliff Butler, who gets a very, very wide line going around Chestnut's Drift. That's the wrong line to take coming into the Devil's Elbow. But don't forget, these intersaloon cars, a very, very unique suspension set upon these, means the corners will be taken very, very tightly indeed, and still chasing the very powerful and immaculate Darien of Andy Thrush all the way up the end of Harry Hill. A challenge there on the inside. Cliff Butler manoeuvres himself through on the inside of Andy Thrush, moves himself up into 3rd place. Andy Thrush comes back at him, coming down the descent of Harry Hill. Peter White still there in 5th place, but it's Cliff Butler through now into 3rd place in the Peugeot 205. The battle going on for 1st and 2nd, still between Graham Smith and Bill Richards as they go down past the commentary box, past the start line here, and they go into Chestnut's Drift. So Graham Smith under an awful lot of pressure now from Bill Richards. These two very lightweight space frame cars, very similar in their construction. But the Graham Smith version just a moment has the edge as Cliff Butler has a look on the outside approach into the Devil's Elbow at Bill Richards, who now looks on the inside going into the North Bend hairpin. Cliff Butler all the way around the outside in the Peugeot. So the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 very close indeed, but not too far behind there in 4th place. Still Andy Thrush, the Darien T9 Ford, and in 5th place there's still Peter White in the 2nd of our starlets in this category, Unit Saloon starlet of 22, Peter White, still there in 5th place. But the battle going on there all the way around this 1 mile circuit here. What a superb finish to the circuit as we know it here this afternoon. There's some real battles going on and some superb motor racing for you. And of course, catching the action right here on Screen Sport. Courtesy, I may add, of World Action Sports Productions here this afternoon. So, Graham Smith, Bill Richards, Cliff Butler, the 1, 2, 3, very, very close indeed. It's going to go right down to the wire, this one. Graham Smith still leading Bill Richards as they come down the descent of Harry Hill. Cliff Butler still there in 3rd place. Still this battle going on for 4th and 5th between Andy Thrush and Peter White. And a fine win there for Graham Smith, number 4. 2nd place goes to Bill Richards, and 3rd place, as you'll see coming up very, very shortly, in the Peugeot 205. Cliff Butler, 4th place there for Andy Thrush, the Darien T9, and Peter White is 5th. To the final 4 special saloons here this afternoon. This is Division 1. This is their final. Bill Richards looks to take the title for the 3rd year in succession. Graham Smith, Andy Thrush have given him a real hard time here today. And there is Mary Brinham, number 13 in her little Mini. Let's have a look and see what occurs in this, the final for the Special GT category, the Division 1 Lydden Saloon Car Series cars here this afternoon. Bill Richards, a bit firm between his teeth. If you give him a clear second, which they have done, there's no catching him. 2nd place for Graham Smith at the moment. 3rd place Andy Thrush in the Darien T9 Ford. There's the first of Renner Saloons in hands, 22 Peter White, who failed to finish the Inner Saloon final earlier on this afternoon. Obviously got the car repaired. There in 5th place, you saw the Rover-engined Ford Escort Mark 1 of Mick Tester, who today brings with him his new sponsors for, hopefully for next year as well, the Car Lube organisation. There he is, this absolutely immaculate Mark 1 Escort with its Formula 5000 suspension and steering geometry and this big Rover 3.6 litre V8 engine underneath the bonnet. As watch the leader going up and around the North Bend hairpin. 2nd place still there, Graham Smith. The then very, very rapid Sammy with Stiletto. Third place, still the Darien of Andy Thrush, and the challenge there from Pete White, 22 in the Starlet. Still in fourth place there, fifth place, shall I say, that's the Carlu Rover-engined Escort of Mick Tester, who challenges for fourth, and the bonnet's come up on Pete White's Starlet. The bonnet flaps open on Peter White's Starlet. He knows he's got to pull off, otherwise he will get black flagged. Oh, that's a great shame after a fine run for him, Izzard. What a lousy weekend for poor old Peter White in 22. A superb competitor here, both in the saloons and in special GTs. Well, that really has left the challenge open now to Bill Richards, just to keep at bay the harassing and biting at his ankles Stiletto in the hands of number 4, Graham Smith, as those two now